3 weeks straight without taking any bad setups, trading outside of the plan, etc. Finally, when I didn't get any setups for like the whole week, I got some setups, but just a few, it ended in break even, and I was just like, this is going too slow. And the week was really tough for me as well. Like, not saying this to complain or anything, but obviously I was under a lot of pressure, really tired, really frustrated. So what ended up happening is I started to just take a little trade, a small trade outside of my plan. And that's when it all spiraled. When I started taking that small trades outside of my plan, then I opened the gate to not be disciplined anymore, because then I don't identify myself as someone who is disciplined anymore, and then it just went down from there. And what does that prove to me? Previously, like other people, I would just then try to up the risk, eventually blow that challenge and start fresh. But that in itself is a sort of weakness, because then you don't take any accountability and consequences for your actions. And the whole thing which led to this was the FOMO. It was the desperation to get a setup, a win, all of that stuff. That's my biggest weakness in the market, is that FOMO. That I feel like if I don't get any setup in a longer period of time, then that's the worst feeling for me. So that's what I need to work on. And everyone, like, the thing is, you betray yourself. I betrayed myself, and that's a big issue. That's way worse than losing profits or whatever. Like, me betraying myself is a serious issue that I'm not taking lighthearted, because most kings, most people in power in history or today, they oftentimes don't lose their power because of other enemies. They lose because they betray themselves. And if you betray yourself, then you shouldn't even care about making that profit, because it doesn't matter. Thing is, if you betray yourself, that's a serious issue that you can't take lighthearted. And the weaker you are, the easier it is for you to betray yourself. So in my case, I was really disciplined for 3 weeks straight, but then stress in my life happened, a lot of stuff happened, and eventually I broke my rules. And that's what weak people do. They are able to stay disciplined in a longer period of time, but eventually they crack under pressure. Not because they're bad people and not because I'm a bad person, but simply because I was too weak. And that's why I'm not intending to just blow the challenge or buy a new one. Obviously, this is just one of my many challenges. I'm up on other challenges. It's not about the profits, about the money. It's just about the pain of losing that profits and doing a challenge in drawdown and realizing that you have a long way to go on that particular challenge to complete it. But that's the kind of pain you need, and you need to be more concerned about not, like, if I just buy a new challenge, I don't go to the root of the problem, and the same issue is going to appear again. And then I have to ask myself, why do I care that much about if I got a setup or not? Like, why do I care so much? Is there something else in my life I need to address? Is the issue that I don't feel like I'm doing enough progress in a week in my life in general? Like, does this even have anything to do with trading? Because maybe I should look into something else. Like, for example, making these YouTube videos is one thing, but like, that in itself could be something that I need to address. But most of all, I can't betray myself, and I can't let psychological weaknesses stop me in this game, because if I made it 3 weeks and I betrayed myself, then let's say I get stronger and I don't betray myself next time, but then maybe it goes 3 months and something happens and I betray myself. So that's why you will never survive in this game if you don't work on yourself. So to end off this video, I just want to talk about the compounding of money. When you go into trading, you have to understand how the compound effect works, how you can start with little capital and grow to a large amount. And unfortunately, a lot of people get into trading and they have this mindset that they feel like building wealth should be exciting or give you a lot of dopamine or feel progressive. Building wealth isn't a process that gives you fulfillment necessarily, or where you feel like you're developing or whatever. Building wealth is the slowest process you can make, and I can guarantee you that if you want to feel like you achieve something, if you want to feel a sense of accomplishment, then that comes from other areas of your life, not from building wealth, because it's a slow and compounding journey. And if day trading is all you're doing and you feel like you get frustrated because you don't get enough setups and you feel like this is taking too long, then either you have to find something else as well to do on the side, a side hustle or another business. And when I say business, I don't mean something crazy. Like, you can do like I'm doing here, YouTube. You can look into AI dropshipping. You can look into whatever you want. But the whole point is that you need to be doing lots of different stuff, because you can hedge against trading. If trading doesn't give you the results you wanted a period of time, you don't feel that much about it, because if you feel like trading is the only thing that is going to make a lot of money, then you're going to feel so stressed and frustrated. And going into a new week, if you don't get anything, you feel like the whole week was wasted and you feel like you have little to no control. So what I do is I go in every single day, every single week in my Discord, which is linked in the bio, and I call out which days are high probability, which days are low probability, and I share my trade setups, my strategies, and I give signals as well. But I make sure to tell people when the market is looking good and when there's nothing to trade, because a lot of days the market is consolidating, we don't have any clean moves, and you should just stay out of it, because building that wealth is a slow process and you have to build it brick by brick. And for a long period of time, nothing exciting is going to happen in the market. And you see the same in backtesting as well. There is no excitement. But I want you guys to enjoy the journey, and instead of feeling like you don't get enough setups, it's too boring, then ask yourself, can I learn something new? I may not get the result there and then, but can I learn something new? Can I add another pair to my trading? Like, let's say in my case, I'm trading NQ and EURUSD. I'm considering looking into GBP USD, like looking for more setups every single week, trying to develop myself. But that's a slow process as well, but that gives me a sense of fulfillment, of purpose. I feel like I'm progressing, but I don't force anything in the live market yet. I just try to learn something new, feeling like I'm getting closer. You need to make this journey feel like you have to get something out of the journey. Like, if you feel like you're developing and you feel like every single week I'm learning something new, could be backtesting, could be adding another pair, another session to your trading list, and just developing, sooner or later you feel like you're progressing, even though you don't see it in the PNL. You just feel like I'm doing something, I'm getting better, and you're enjoying the journey. A lot of people, when they finish university, when they get 25 years old and older, they stop developing themselves, they stop expanding their mindset. And like, that's why a lot of people feel stuck, because they actually don't develop their brain, they don't use their brain that much anymore, they don't learn anything new, they don't become like, the worst thing you can do, guys, is stop developing yourself. And I mean this in the sense of just thinking that the setups you currently have in the market are good enough and you shouldn't learn something new. You should just wait for that setup. That's why I get frustrated. That's why I feel like this is too boring, because you don't challenge yourself. You don't focus on becoming better every single day. Like, you can't have this limited mindset thinking that you're just going to do what you're currently doing, because the market conditions are going to change. you may not get. Like, the market never goes after plan either way, so you always have to learn something new and develop yourself. So that's it for today. I really hope you enjoyed this vlog. If you want me to make any more of these kind of vlogs, just comment down below, or whatever you want to see next. And I wish you a good next week in trading. I believe in you guys. Don't blow these accounts. Just take it slow, breathe, and don't rush this journey. Like, we're all in this together. Like, everyone is going into drawdown sometimes, and if you just learn the lesson from the drawdown and you don't push and try to get something back, I know how frustrating it is. Like, everyone wants this journey to go faster, but just let it be. Just find out what works for you. Find a way to feel like you're developing yourself. That's the most important part. Find balance as well. Like, if you feel like you need a rush or adrenaline or something, like, don't get that from the markets, but set off some time in the weekend to whatever you need to do, like play some video games, whatever. Just get that adrenaline, enjoy the journey, and then go into the market and do it slow, learn, develop yourself. But discipline in itself, unfortunately, guys, is not going to get you where you want. You have to build a system, a lifestyle, that whatever works for you, that makes it impossible to break your trading rules. It shouldn't require that much discipline, because discipline is always going to fail. So just don't care about these setups like pressing buy and sell. It means nothing. Who cares? Build that wealth in the right timing, and just enjoy the journey, guys. Let's go.